Hey everybody, Black Ninja 797 here, and welcome back to another episode of Myth Busting Mondays. In today's episode, we're going to be covering a lot of interesting myths, because some of these ones you may be surprised to hear even, are considered as actual myths. You may be thinking, why would people even remotely consider this to be a possibility? It's just a definitive no, it's just a definitive yes. But that's the whole entire point about Myth Busting Mondays, is that we're going to be proving or disproving those very exact theories. And one of them is going to be whether or not that if you can disable the rain in a hard rain, or just in Left 4 Dead in general. If you guys end up enjoying this video, please end up dropping a like, comment, subscribe, and all that beautiful stuff. If there's any particular myth that you would like to see featured in next week's episode, please leave them in the comment section down below. And now let's get on with the next episode of Myth Busting Mondays. Myth: can a boomer explosion set off a car alarm? Alrighty guys, so what I decided to do in order to get this myth to work in the best possible circumstances, I decided to load up the cemetery chapter of the parish, because there is that distinct exact area that you all know and love, or hate, depending on your circumstances you end up getting lucky with, I guess, where all the cars are set with a whole bunch of alarms. Now, the best possible circumstance for you to be able to end up testing this myth properly is to get a boomer to spawn here, and so the way I'm going to be doing that is through cheats. So I'm going to be loading up into the parish here on the cemetery chapter with all the cars, and I'm going to just spawn a boomer with cheats, and we're going to shoot him near the cars and just see what happens. Alright, so we're putting in the cheat code now, so we're going to spawn in a boomer, there it is, and then we're just going to get in a proper position right where it's near with the car, shoot it, and yep, the car alarms are going off, and the lights are flashing. So yes, if you end up shooting a boomer right near a car with an alarm, regardless of whether or not you hit the car, the alarm is going to go off. So because of that, that means that today's myth is confirmed. Myth: you can get in the Left 4 Dead 1 crew's camping spot on the passing. Alrighty guys, so on the passing, we all know that the Left 4 Dead 1 crew is a big core feature to the game, because not only are they there for the storyline purposes, but they also end up helping you, the player, in the gameplay by actually defending you against zombies. Now, on the finale in particular, they have a certain area where they run around and they can end up shooting from, and they basically get a whole bunch of loot from. And I want to know, can you actually be able to get in there and be able to fight technically alongside them from that exact spot? Now, yes, you are going to need no clip for this, but I'm just curious, is this a texture you can walk on and you actually fight on? Let's see, we're going to enable no clip. And the first one that I want to try is just to try the bridge here. Now, you were able to get up here originally before in the sacrifice, so it should work again. So, yep, you can end up going right up here just like I thought you can, and technically you're not supposed to be up here, because if you were, these survivors will probably turn around and everything, but they look down, assuming that you're on the lower spot. So yeah, that is one area, but let's test out the actual area, the one where they get all their guns and their loot from. Alrighty, so now we have loaded up the actual finale, and the survivors should have ended up moving. So Zoey, Francis, and Lewis should be in position, so we're just going to get ready. We're going to just enable no clip once again. We're just going to be flying up into their little base near that ledge, and we're just going to be disabling no clip once we're in place, and we're just going to see if it's going to make us go through or let us stand. So let's end up going, and yep, you can actually sit up here, and since you actually see this ammo stash and everything for the bot characters, you can end up using it too, and you can end up picking up your own loot and be able to literally fight alongside them. It's really, really cool, and now you get to basically play this from their perspective, so that's pretty nice. So technically, yeah, you can actually end up getting up here, which means that this myth is also confirmed today. Myth: is Zoey's hoodie from her mother? Now, you might be initially confused on what I mean by when I say that is Zoey's hoodie from her mother. Now, the reason why I say this is because one of the most iconic things about Zoey is her pink hoodie, and this is a big staple about her character appearance. And I personally want to know if the hoodie comes from her mother, because if you've ever read the Left 4 Dead comics, you'll know that the only time that we've ever seen Zoey's parents, Zoey's mom is wearing this pink coat of some kind, and I want to be able to just see and compare to know if it's that exact hoodie. Alrighty guys, so we're back on the Left 4 Dead comic for Zoey, and this is the first page of it, and you can see that you sort of see like this pink hoodie type of look on Zoey's mom in some images, but however though, if you take a closer look, rather than just taking a quick glance through like I did initially, you will see that's not the exact same coat. In fact, it's actually more like a dress shirt of some kind, something that you would wear to the office. Because Zoey ends up having a zip-up pink hoodie, whereas the coat that her mom is wearing is more of like a professional business shirt. So therefore, because of that logic, that means that this myth is busted. However, though, I do want to make an assumption, though. I do want to say that I believe that these are supposed to draw a parallel and that the hoodie is inspired and themed to honor her mother. Myth. Can you avoid the metal detector on dead air? Alrighty guys, so the dead air metal detector is one of the horde summoning events that I would say is pretty tough. It's probably one of the most toughest in the game if you are unlucky or if you're on a higher difficulty, because you really, for the most part, are just swarmed with zombies in a tight space, and it really would be convenient if you would be able to avoid this, because some horde summoning events in the game can be avoided or at least shortened, but can you do that with the metal detector? One of the ways I want to try to do this is by trying to find a out-of-the-map spot, so that way I can see if I can be able to go around it, because the way that the map is laid out is that the only way is supposed to be through it. You can't go around underneath of it or anything. And I'm trying to see if I can jump on something to be able to get around it. I'm trying to see if I can actually just find a wall breach. But however, though, with the Last Stand update, I don't know, it might be a little bit harder than I think, and I'm looking, and I'm really trying here. And I'm trying to do it legitimately, too, without, adding, like, cheats or no-clip. But I'm going to be honest, I'm not really having a lot of confidence in this one. In fact, I'm just going to go off an assumption that's probably not going to work. So from my humble experience, I can't find anything, but you guys can let me know. But in the meantime, I'm just going to leave this myth at busted. Alrighty guys, so now we are down to the final myth, the big ultimate myth, the one that is really going to be important to today's episode because it does imply an idea that is going to really change the way that how we all handle the maps, such as the passing or hard rain, because of the abundance of rain that are on those maps sometimes. And that is, once again, the question, can you disable the rain in Left 4 Dead? Most notably on hard rain, because that's the main appeal about that map. So we're going to be putting that myth to the test here. And I am really curious if it's even remotely possible. Myth. Can you disable the rain in Left 4 Dead? Alrighty guys, so I am loaded up on the finale of Hard Rain, probably the most rainiest chapter in the whole entire game, and I'm just going to be going into my in-game settings and looking for any particular effect that I can disable so that way the rain texture is gone. Basically what I'm looking for is I'm not trying to get rid of necessarily the rain on the ground, but more of like the obnoxious ones that impair your vision that's going to be just striking down upon you throughout the whole entire campaign. And I'm looking for different settings, and it looks like that for me personally, I may have found something here. Because it may be a little bit different on screen for you guys because of the way that YouTube does things. But however though, I personally cannot see any rain when I end up disabling the effects option in my settings. All the rain textures just go away, and the only thing that's left is the water that's on the ground. I can't see any rain, I can't see anything blocking my vision. I do see the thunderclouds, but that's really all I see. So personally for me, I think that that's actually a setting that can disable the rain in my humble opinion. It doesn't show up for me, and I have a really high quality monitor. So from what I can see here, and from my personal experience, I'm going to say that this myth is confirmed. You can actually disable the rain settings in Left 4 Dead. And if you don't believe me, I recommend trying it for yourself. Alrighty guys, so that is going to be it for today's episode of Myth Busting Mondays. I truly hope you guys end up enjoying it. If you did, please consider dropping a like, comment, and subscribe, and all that beautiful stuff. Once again, if there's any particular myth that you want to have featured in next week's episode, please put them down below in the comments. I'd love to read your guys' stuff because you guys come with some really fun and awesome stuff to do, including like this week's. So please definitely feel free to do so. If you guys also want to financially support the channel, I always definitely have a link in the description for my Patreon. And you guys could also please use code BlackNinja797 in all caps in the Fortnite Epic Games item shops, because Epic is my very first sponsor and they're sponsoring today's video. And lastly guys, if you just simply happen to enjoy, just once again, if I have not said already, please drop a like, comment, and subscribe and all that beautiful stuff. But I truly, at the end of the day, hope you end up enjoying another YouTube video from the most unique YouTuber you guys are ever going to see. Thank you for watching guys, and peace out.